Welcome back to my channel, Dinar and Dong Updates. Vietnam's Economic Awakening. The Dong. Development and a Nation. Ready for the big stage. For years, the Vietnamese Dong has been more of a footnote than a headline in global financial circles. Often seen as an unstable currency with limited international appeal, it hasn't drawn much serious attention from investors outside of niche communities. But something's changed. Quietly, almost stealthily, Vietnam has been building momentum. And now, it's starting to roar. The Dong? It's no longer just a speculative curiosity. It might be a piece of a much larger economic puzzle coming together in real time. Let's get something straight right away. This isn't just about currency values or hypothetical revaluations. Sure, many are curious if the Dong will revalue or go digital. But focusing solely on that misses the broader story. The real story is Vietnam's transformation. A strategic, calculated, and fast-moving evolution that's redefining its role on the world stage. A nation on the move. What sparked this renewed interest in Vietnam? It wasn't one thing. It was a series of smart moves that signaled the country is no longer content with being seen as a low-cost manufacturing hub. Vietnam is modernizing, it's innovating, and most importantly, it's opening its doors to high-level players in global business and finance. You don't host private meetings with major U.S. investment groups, top-tier bankers, and international executives unless you're planning something substantial. Vietnam isn't trying to maintain the status quo. It's preparing for a future where it plays in the big leagues. This goes beyond cheap labor and assembly lines. Vietnam is building, physically, economically, and digitally. Massive housing projects, industrial zones, international airports, and digital infrastructure all point to one thing: long-term planning with serious capital behind it. Let's be real, no one invests billions into sustainable development and smart infrastructure with a currency stuck at 1,310 dong to the dollar forever. Something's gotta give. Manufacturing muscle and the Lego signal. One of the clearest signals that Vietnam is leveling up came from an unexpected corner. Lego. That's right. The iconic toy company is investing over $1 billion into building a state-of-the-art manufacturing plant in Binh Duong. But it's not just the size of the investment that raised eyebrows. It's the fact that this facility will run entirely on renewable energy. This isn't a play for cheap labor. This is about building a sustainable, high-tech manufacturing base for the future. If a global giant like Lego is planting its flag in Vietnam with a clean energy facility, that sends a powerful message to the rest of the world. Vietnam is serious about its environmental commitments, and it's ready to compete at the highest levels of global industry. And it's not just toys. Electronics, textiles, electric vehicle components. Vietnam is positioning itself as a supply chain alternative to China. As geopolitical tensions continue to push companies to diversify their manufacturing footprints, Vietnam has emerged as one of the most attractive alternatives. The energy shift. From coal to clean. While countries around the world debate energy policy, Vietnam is already moving. The government has laid out an ambitious plan to scale back coal and natural gas usage and lean hard into renewable energy. Their new target? Increase solar energy's share of the mix from 5% to 16% by 2030. That's not a mild tweak. It's a seismic shift in energy policy. And it's smart too. With increasing electricity demand, especially from industrial zones and urban centers, Vietnam realized it couldn't rely on outdated LNG projects or fossil fuels. Adapting now positions them well for long-term sustainability, and it makes them even more attractive to ESG-focused investors and companies. Infrastructure. That tells a story. You want to know if a country is serious about the future? Look at what it's building. Vietnam is in the midst of an infrastructure boom the likes of which it's never seen. From high-speed rail to metro systems to international airports, the country is literally paving the way for future growth. North-South Expressway. Spanning over 2,000 kilometers, the North-South Expressway is a massive project linking the nation from top to bottom. Major segments are already under construction and are slated for completion by 2025. Once finished, this highway will massively improve logistics, reduce travel time, and enhance trade routes, both domestically and internationally. High-speed rail, the $67 billion dream. A $67 billion dream is turning into a concrete reality. Vietnam's high-speed rail line will connect Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, cutting travel time dramatically. The National Assembly gave this ambitious project the green light in late 2024, with construction scheduled to begin in 2027 and wrap up by 2035. It's more than just trains, it's national connectivity at a new scale. Long Thanh International Airport. Just 40 kilometers outside of Ho Chi Minh City, the Long Thanh International Airport is set to become one of the most important aviation hubs in Southeast Asia. Phase 1 alone carries a $4.6 billion price tag and is expected to be operational by 2026. By full completion in 2035, it's projected to handle over 100 million passengers annually. This isn't a patch, it's a global gateway in the making. Urban Transport Revolution. Anyone who's been to Ho Chi Minh City knows the traffic chaos, but relief is on the way. The city's first metro line finally opened in December 2024, connecting the central business district with the Eastern Transport Terminal. Line 2 is already under construction, with Phase 1 set to finish between 2030 and 2032. This marks a major shift in how people move, live, and work in Vietnam's urban centers. Digital ambitions and banking shifts. Beyond the roads and rails, Vietnam is also digitizing its financial systems. The country is actively exploring central bank digital currency technologies, part of a broader effort to modernize its banking sector and transition to a more cashless, data-driven economy. Financial institutions are also being restructured and upgraded. Vietnam's state-owned banks are receiving major policy and tech overhauls, and foreign banks are being encouraged to participate in digital transformation efforts. Vietnam wants to build a financial system that supports smart contracts, blockchain settlements, and secure international investment. Deleting zeros from the dong, essentially redenominating the currency, has also been floated as a realistic scenario. This wouldn't be about overnight riches. It would be about simplifying transactions, encouraging digital adoption, and making the currency more appealing for international trade. Foreign policy and strategic partnerships. Vietnam's growth isn't happening in isolation. The country's leadership has been aggressively pursuing stronger international partnerships. In April 2025, the Prime Ministers of Vietnam and Spain met in Hanoi to tighten trade and defense relations, with Vietnam pushing for an upgrade to a comprehensive strategic partnership. European partnerships, especially under the EU-Vietnam Free Trade Agreement, EVFTA, are becoming critical components of the country's strategy. And despite ongoing trade friction with the U.S., Vietnam continues to court American businesses with openness and a clear agenda. From defense deals to tech collaborations, Vietnam is choosing its partners wisely, and the world is taking notice. A vision for the future. Vietnam is targeting 8% GDP growth in 2025, and if current trends continue, that goal is well within reach. But here's what makes that number different from many other growth projections around the world. Vietnam isn't just projecting. It's actively building the foundation to support that kind of sustained, high-octane expansion. We're talking about real, physical assets. Clean factories, global standard airports, high-speed trains, digital banks, solar grids. These aren't hypotheticals, they're happening. And this is what investors need to pay attention to. Not hype, not rumors, but facts, moves, and momentum. What it all means for the dong, and for us now, let's talk about the dong. Will it revalue? Will Vietnam delete zeros or go fully digital? No one knows for certain. And this isn't about chasing some overnight RV, revaluation fantasy. But what is clear is this. A country doesn't undergo this level of transformation and keep a currency priced for instability. At some point, financial structure must reflect real economic strength. Whether it's a gradual shift, a redenomination, or a digital rollout, the dong is likely to evolve along with the country. This isn't a get-rich-quick game. It's a long-term economic play. If you're holding dong, or considering it, don't just fixate on a revaluation date. Zoom out. Look at the national strategy. Watch the infrastructure. Track the banking system. Study the trade deals. Because that's where the real value lies, not in fantasy, but in foresight. Final thoughts. Decode the future. Vietnam isn't just making noise, it's making moves. And the global community is starting to recognize that. American investors, European governments, and multinational corporations are all showing up. Not out of curiosity, but because they see potential. This isn't just about Vietnam's rise. It's about understanding how emerging economies grow, how currencies evolve, and how opportunities appear when you connect the dots early. So here's the challenge. Don't just wait around for a miracle. Educate yourself. Stay sharp. Watch the signs. And remember, we're not here just to dream about the future. We're here to decode it, one step at a time. If you found value in this breakdown, don't forget to drop your thoughts in the com.